So here's the thing. I was just listening to Dr. John, and I've been talking about doing this kind of video for a while, but I'm a solo female nomad, and I'm happily single, and I'll tell you why. The reason why is listening to the Dr. John Deloney show helps keep me there, by the way. So if you want to stay single or want to be single and understand why, it's a good thing to watch that show because it'll help you remember your priorities and to not settle, I guess is the way to put it. But I was married for a long time, and then I divorced, and then I was trying to find somebody, right? We all have that hole, especially when you get divorced, you have like a big hole that you're like, okay, I failed, I want to succeed, let me find somebody. And so I found I was attracting the wrong people. And that's, yeah, definitely on me, right? You can't fill that void. You just can't do it. In the sense of just trying to find somebody to do that, because everybody's broken to a point. Everybody has healing they still need to do. And we get to my age, middle age, everybody's got some baggage that they hopefully are working through, or have worked through a lot of it, but it's not guaranteed. And so that's where you need to like really step back. And so I decided 6 years ago to be single, to stay single. There's a lot of layers to that, right? You've got to be okay with it mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. And what happened was I realized that I was the same component in every relationship, right? That I kept messing it up certain things and not doing it well, but also attracting the wrong people and getting involved with the wrong people. I was dating the wrong men. And so that's on me. And I had to take responsibility for it, because we could all say, oh, it's them. And no, if you're dating them and choosing them, right? You're not being made to date them. So, so that was on me. So I said 6 years ago, enough. Let me figure this out and let me do better for myself and be happy. Because the problem is when you're trying to fit somebody in your life that isn't right for you, you're not happy and you're never going to be. It's either you're fighting, which I'm not a big fighter, so that's not usually it. I just quietly like check out after a while. So that's what I was doing. But so I decided to look at things and be like, all right, I don't communicate well. I don't know how to talk about my feelings well. And I just looked at all the different areas that I needed to work on. And so my faith is what has kept me going, and actually drawing closer to God is what has kept me going too, because it is hard to be single. Everybody's telling you should be with someone. Everybody's, wishing that they could help you find somebody, and I love my mom, my birth mom, but I remember her saying something like, oh, you need someone to take care of you. And I'm like, right back, I kind of bit back and I'm like, no, I don't need anybody to take care of me. So, and she, she didn't mean totally that way, but that was my response, which showed me a lot also about myself. This is a couple of years ago, I think. Yeah, I think 2.5 or something when I was here before. I'm here in her state visiting with her now. So, and if you want to learn about that, by the way, there's a whole nother video about finding my birth mom and what a blessing that's been. So what I had to do is look at all the different weak points in what I didn't like about myself, and why did I feel that I needed somebody. So drawing to my faith, praying, every day I had to get up and like dedicate that day to getting better, thinking things through, being careful with my emotions and who I relied on. And the thing is though, folks, I have a good network. I have some wonderful friends. That alone helped me, right? I could talk things through with them, explain to them why I was doing what I was doing. And honestly, I can't recommend being single for a while enough. If you can do that, and you can, it's a mindset, right? I choose to live in 60 square feet. It's a mindset. You have to make up your mind that that's what you're going to do. And I cannot tell you what a difference it's made. I'm so much more confident. I'm independent. I can do anything I want. I can, you figure it out. I don't know how to fix things, but I figure it out. Or God helps me find people that help me fix things. Or he helps me get the work to, make the money to be able to have that happen too. But it just makes the whole difference, because then you know who you are. You're working through your issues. Like I have worked for years. I went to counseling years ago and everything. I recommend all of that. But then I also worked for years on healing up. But then I got to that point 6 years ago when I said, I need to be on my own to really figure this out. So now I know the kind of person I need in my life, if you will. And again, need is kind of like a, right? I don't really need anybody. If for me, it's faith in friends and family, and I'm good. I literally could be single for the rest of my life. So if I want a relationship with someone, it's going to have to be, I set the bar high, right? Because I can now, because I am, I'm worth it. And that's what it comes down to. Before I was just trying to fill the void and not feel alone and not feel like I, screwed everything up or whatever. Now it's like, screw that, man. It's got to be somebody really special that I can communicate with and laugh with and enjoy life with, that gives me some grace and I can give them grace. They're not going to be perfect. I don't expect it. They've got to have their act together though in a lot of ways. And there's so many different forms that could take, right? So many different ways. But I'm so grateful for this time, because as I've traveled, being single, it has helped me build so much character. Like in the beginning, it was hard. It was really hard because you're used to finding somebody or looking. Really, it's looking, right? You keep looking, like you're looking way too much, And I got to the point where I didn't look at all, and I didn't want any man to notice me, and I just wanted to do my own thing. And so that's been really good for me. Because in the beginning, like if you go to a wedding or a family party or something, you feel really alone, and you feel like you're oddball or something like that. And, maybe some people are looking at you like that, but not likely. And so what I learned to do is turn it around and focus on my loved ones or my friends or other people, learn from them, listen to their stories. Sometimes people are very lonely in their marriages or relationships, right? If you've been there, So I think it's like a act of service, right? You learn to listen better. You learn what you don't want, what you do want from watching other people. You learn what you will and will not put up with. The stuff that I put up with before, it's just not happening. I have attracted narcissists like a freaking, mosquito to sweet blood, right? I got sweet blood, in case you haven't noticed. They seem to like me. But that was my problem. I seem to attract those folks. So I had to learn, why am I attracting them? What is it about me? And it's really putting up with things that you shouldn't put up with, right? And not noticing red flags. And there's tons of videos on that. I don't need to teach you about narcissism. There's some excellent videos on that. So if you're wondering if that's your problem, go look it up and see what the red flags are when you start hanging out. And it's funny because I've actually met a couple narcissists in the last even few months or whatever. And it was so neat because I was like, ding, ding, ding. Nope. We can't be friends, and I'm not going to hang out with you. I'm not rude to them. I don't actually say those words, but I distance myself, and I'm busy. I have work to do, and I have stuff to do, and I have a dog to take care of. And so that's what how I've done it. And then sometimes you might think it's a narcissist that you're hanging out with, and just because they give you a couple of things or something, and it doesn't mean that they are. So you've got to learn all the different red flags that will come up and how they talk to you. The love bombing and everything that people talk about. It's both words and stuff that they give you, and it's just a big fake persona. And I was burned by that for many, many years, different people. So yeah, I can't recommend it enough. I hope that you'll think about it. If you are hurting and you keep getting involved with the wrong people, and even if that's your friends, like if you keep attracting the wrong kind of friends and putting up with the wrong kind of friends, I hope that you'll really think about being single that way too, and looking for people that have common ground with you, whether it's your faith or whatever. I'm not going to preach at you that way, but I'm just saying, for me, my faith has made me stronger. And I know that has made the total difference. Before, I'm embarrassed to admit this, but it's really that I didn't have strong enough faith, because I was like, oh, God doesn't care about, who I am involved with, or, who I marry or whatever. And I'm not going to give that to him, because, what if they're really cool, but they're not totally into God the way I think they should be? Oh my gosh. Now, if you're in your 20s, please listen to me. Don't do what I did. You're going to think you have like a limited pool of people, if you take yourself down to your faith. You don't. You really don't. There's a lot more people out here. I've traveled to almost every state now in the United States. So if you're in a different country, you've got your different states or provinces or whatever, districts, territories, whatever they would be called. So it's not as limited as you think. You know, our God is a big God, and God knows all the different people and all their hearts and minds and what they're thinking. And so don't limit yourself. I did that. I totally did that. I thought I had to, like, glam on to somebody, but you don't have to do that. So it's better to wait a few years or more, whatever it's going to be, than to be with the wrong person. I cannot say that enough. So being single, it rocks. It is wonderful. I've traveled a lot. I've met so many wonderful people because you open up your heart. You know, when you're willing to be open and meet people, what a contrast it's made. I actually like people now. I didn't like people before when I was that insecure person. Now I enjoy people, even if they are just weenies. You can get a kick out of them. You can let it go. You can be like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to accept that anymore. And you just move on. But, whether you're looking for man or woman or whatever, it's just, I just hope that you'll step back, take the time, be single, love yourself enough to be single. And what a gift it is, because my life has just exploded. I have so many friends, and I'm not saying they're like best buddies. I could trust them with my, my bank account or my social security number. No, but I have different kinds of friends that are fun to travel with, friends that I can talk spiritual with. My life is so much richer, and I just want to encourage you to think about it, pray about it, try to do it. And don't just try, do it. Like, if you think in your heart, you need to do this, do it, because you will never regret it. I made so many wrong choices before. I didn't get to have kids because I made wrong choices. I missed out on different things. So I have regrets, but I don't, right? Because why hold on to that? It's just the way it is. And I'm okay. And my life is so rich now that I live in a tiny thing. I look like I'm broke. And I'm struggling financially a little bit, yeah, but that's okay. This is a temporary thing. It's from having eye surgery that took all my savings. But the cool part is I'm so much richer in memories and just experiences and friendships. I have true friendships now. And being a nomad, a solo female nomad, that's part of it. I've made true friends. In this world, we so often we're superficial. And when you live this nomadic life, people really cut to the chase and they get past that, if they're dedicated to this lifestyle like I am. And so, yeah, I live in 60 square feet, a 6x10 trailer, but my life is so much better. I hope that this helps you. I hope this inspires you and challenges you. If this video came up, maybe God's bringing it up to you. And if you keep making bad choices, I'd say step back. Especially in relationships is what I mean. Or if you're making bad choices in career or whatever, step back and look at things. Really be honest with yourself. It's hard, but it's so worth it. I always say to people, I have done so much work on myself and it was hard, but I don't regret it. Was it fun? Hell no. Sometimes it really sucked ass. So I'm going to be honest with you. But the benefit of coming on the other side of that is so, so worth it. Am I perfect? Heck no. I have so much to work on. I have friends that are helping me with that, right? That's a good thing. When you have friends, you kind of see where you're still are weak and what you need to do. True friends that love you for you. But please consider it. Being single really can help you. And it can prepare you for a life with somebody if that's what you want in the future. You'll be such a better partner to them. So much. So I wish you love and light. And if you have questions, ask me. Go ahead and ask me. And I just hope it helps someone. If this reaches one person, thank God. See you soon.